Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be siding this chicken coop I'm in the middle of building, and I'm going to be using cedar shingles for siding. So stick around and I'll show you guys how I chose to do this. Alright, to start out, I went over to Lowe's and grabbed 10 bundles of these cedar shingles, and then I also grabbed some trim molding for around the doors, the corners of the building, and the windows, and that is a 4-inch wide. It's like a cement board for siding. Now, I will say these bundles of shingles were not that great of quality. I wasn't really impressed with those. About 30% of the shingles included in each of these bundles either were already eaten by bugs and pretty large holes in it, or cracked, or large knots that have fallen out. So basically unusable, except for maybe a few spots at the top of your wall if you have any smaller sections that you need to cut. Now for the nails that you're going to need to fasten this to the wall, I'm going to be using galvanized 2.5-inch nails for my nail gun. You want something rated for exterior use for siding, so either galvanized or stainless. So I'm going to be using galvanized nails in my nail gun for the trim, and then I'm also going to be using stainless staples for the cedar shingles. You can also use nails if you want to use a hammer or nail. Just make sure you get either galvanized or stainless nails for those. Now you'll also need a saw to cut through the moldings that you're using for the trim, as well as all the cedar shingles. You may need to rip those down to thinner pieces, so having a chop saw or circular saw ready on hand is really helpful. Now the cement board that I'm using for the trim will destroy your blade, so keep that in mind. You may want to use a leftover blade or one that's not brand new. Now before I start attaching the siding, I'm going to put the trim up first. So I'll be framing in the section that I'm going to be siding with the corners, as well as around any openings, doorways, windows, that sort of thing. Now that I have the framing done, I'm going to move on to siding. Now it's important to have first some house wrap or underlayment below the siding, just in case any moisture does get in. That will help seal it and push that moisture off before it soaks into the building. Now that first row I just laid down is important. You're going to want to put 2 layers of shingles over top of that first layer, and you're going to want to offset the cracks on those cedar shingles so that they'll overlap and not let any moisture into there. Now I'm going to start moving up the other sides as well, and it goes fairly quickly. On a small building like this, it takes a lot longer. There's a lot more small pieces and trim that you have to cut. On larger areas, you can really just fly across and put the cedar shingles up without having to worry about all the trim pieces. Now another thing that's really handy to have close by while you're doing this is a nice sharp utility knife. While having a saw for larger cuts, it makes it really easy when you're doing small minor adjustments. It's a lot faster to just pull out your knife and make a cut, and then it'll fit just right. Right now I'm laying out the measurements on the molding on each corner to make sure that I'm lining up my rows across here, and I'm going to be doing those rows every 8 inches. So I'm going to put a mark on the molding, and then that will give me a guide as I'm working up the wall. I'll make sure everything's staying level and square all the way up. Now as I'm going along, you may notice I'm chalking a line after I finish each row. That will give me a guide for the next row, making sure everything is straight all the way across. Now, unlike other sidings where it goes by the top of the board, this goes by the bottom of the board. So basically you can't chalk all the lines all at once, or else it will just be covered up by the row below it. So I'm going to have to chalk a line each time I finish a new row. That'll give me a nice guide to go by. I've seen other people use a board. They'll nail that on either end of the stretch that they're doing. That gives them something to set the shingles on as well, so you don't have to look and line it up with the chalk line. You can just set it up there and be done with it a lot quicker. Then you just take the board off after you're done with that row, move it up a little bit, and start the next one. So it's just a preference really. For a smaller project like this, it's a lot easier to use a chalk line in my opinion, so I chose to do that. Now, as you're doing siding like this, you don't want any of the cracks to line up. All those seams, if they end up lining up, they will cause a leak and eventually rot out your wall. So what I'm doing is at least aiming for 1 to 1.5 inch overlap on all the seams. Now, each of the shingles are a different width, so it does make it a lot easier to offset the seams. You don't really have to think about it too much. Just keep an eye on it, make sure that none of them do line up. Now I'm starting on the last side, and on this side we have the nesting boxes coming out of the coop, and there's a roof line right here that I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to work on this. So I just finished off the roof here and added a flashing that's going over top of the roof, and I'm going to have the shingles going over top of that. So any water that comes off of the shingles will land on that flashing and be diverted right on top of the shingles, which will go down off the roof. Now I'm also going to be avoiding nailing into that flashing from the shingles. I'm going to just nail right above that so that there aren't any unnecessary leaks. Now that flashing is over 8 inches tall, so the next row will overlap that and there won't be any leaks at all. Now that just about finishes up the video for today. I hope this was helpful for you guys. I'm by no means a professional at this, so I've done some research and have watched a few professionals doing it, and this is how I decided to end up trying this out. So I hope this was helpful, easy to do. This siding is not the cheapest, so it is a little bit more expensive than other options, but it looks really nice once it's done. Within the next couple weeks, I'm planning on sharing the video on how to build this chicken coop from start to finish. It was a really fun project. It took a little bit longer than I expected it to, but I'm excited to share that with you guys. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned for that coming up in the next couple weeks. Currently we have 8 chickens. They're about ready to start laying. This chicken coop could hold up to about 16 easily, but I need to build a pen for them so that they can get outside and enjoy the outdoors off to the side of this coop, and then it should be all done. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.